How do we put this on this? If you plan on carrying one of these metal gigs, a dilemma that you're going to face is how to mount this to a handle. If you're home, you of course can take some type of broom handle, carve it down, drill a hole, and use the provided bolt and nut to secure this to that stick. But as bushcrafters, we carry just the tool with us. And it's important that we preserve this tool and not lose it. So sticking just a basic stick in this gig and then going out and gigging may not be the best idea. We all know what that mud's like when it's just a vacuum and sucks stuff in, especially our boots at different times. So it works the same as a gig, or those resilient frogs. If you get it on maybe a back leg and didn't get a good gig on it and the thing takes off, your gig might go with it. So it's important to secure this to a stick. There's a ton of different ways to do this. I'm going to show you how I do it. Let's take a look at it. When choosing your stick, you want a diameter of a stick that's bigger than the diameter of the socket on your gig. And then you want to try to match your shaving and cone shape to that socket. Once your stick is carved, have faith in yourself that it's a close fit. The more that we place this gig on and off, the friction fit wears away, so we want to preserve as much of that as possible. What we then want to do is take some bank line. Now I'm going to just use some thin bank line. This is number 12 bank line. I took a nice long strand of it and I'm going to run it through the two holes that were originally designed to put that nut and bolt. At that point then, I'm going to slide this gig onto my stick. Now that has a nice fit. I'm not going to pull that off. I'm going to just let it as is. At this point now, I'm going to take my knife and do a little bit of batoning. We're going to cut a simple V-notch about a ½ inch to 1 inch below the bottom of this socket. So just put your knife here and V-notch this like that. Come to the other side then and do the same thing. Now our two V-notches are in place. What I like to do at this point then is to put a half hitch with each line into the stick itself. So what I mean by that is I'm going to bring my line down and I'm going to hold my finger here and just wrap this around. You can see what I did was now I created this loop here with the line. I'm going to put this in and tighten this down. And what that's going to do now is catch into this groove that I made. I'm going to do the same thing with the other line in the opposite direction. Now all I need to do is begin wrapping this around. At the end then I'm going to put a simple overhand knot in place here. I'm not too worried about cordage recovery. Tighten that down, and now we have a gig that is securely fastened to a stick or handle. And that's how I secure a frog gig to a handle. It's important you do this. You don't have to do it the same way I do it, but you have to do this. You don't want to lose this tool. It's important if you're carrying this to preserve it. Of course, we can make wooden frog gigs, which I love to do all the time, but if we have this, way more easier, so just attach it somehow. This is just one method. Try out a couple different ways, see what you like, and then have a good time frog gigging. This was Dan Walwack at Coalcracker Bushcraft. As always, check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com. Until next video, stay in the woods.